Hello, Rutgers basketball fans. How are you today? This is OG. The B's not here, as you can see. She's on vacation. But I have to say something about last night's game, Northwestern Rutgers basketball, and what I've been reading on the internet, Twitter and Instagram. So I think we need to put some things in perspective here, and that's what I want to talk about today. First of all, wow, what a game last night. Again, a sellout crowd. The atmosphere was terrific. A lot of tears in the crowd. Last game for Caleb, Paul especially. Two really big impact players for Rutgers as a university, as a basketball program. What they've done is invaluable. So place was humming, crowded, packed, people screaming, signs everywhere, flowers. What an atmosphere. What an atmosphere. And knowing that it's not just their last game, but wow, what this game meant to the team in terms of league standings, in terms of tournament seeding and ranking and making the tournament and all that good stuff. So a lot riding on the line, a lot of nervous people, fans in the stands. And so great evening. I mean, what more could you ask for from a fan's perspective? You go to a game, it's a packed house. The game means something. It just wasn't a send-off to these guys. And, oh well, next year, what have you. This game meant a lot. There's a lot riding on this game. So you got all your money's worth as a fan, both at the arena and at home watching. If you're a fan of a true team, these are what you live for, these kind of games, this kind of emotion, this kind of tense, nervous. It's better than a concert. You have no idea what the band is going to play. You go there and you're just at the edge of your seat the entire show. And that's what these guys have brought to Rutgers fans, to New Jersey, to the university. And we need to applaud them for that. So, that being said, it was a great start. The guys got off to, I think it was like a 10-3 lead. Could have been even bigger. Caleb was doing his thing. I think he already had 2 steals in the first 2 minutes. He was all over the place. A true treasure to Rutgers. I'll get into that later. Cliff did his thing. I think he had a couple of dunks. One right off the jump ball, which was awesome. Place went nuts. And again, getting your money's worth. Cheers, screaming. We were all going berserk, and we loved it. Big difference from what I remember 4 or 5 years ago when a player named Corey Sanders pretty much was the star of the team and really the only thing the team kind of brought to the table. They had a forward named, I believe, Freeman, who was pretty good, and a big center, I believe he was from Holland. So I do remember that. Decent team, decent. Not great, not probably even good, but decent. They played competitively to the lower end of the Big Ten. They themselves were in that 11, 12, 13, 14 bottom. But they got smoked by the good teams. It was rare that we'd go to a game and see them play competitively against the Indianas, the Michigan, Iowa, Illinois, Maryland. They were getting smoked by all of them. Indiana, we did beat, if I remember, in the Big Ten tournament. Might have been the first time in that string of 6 that Rutgers has had up until that last game in Indiana. But other than that, no, nothing really to get as excited about as what we've seen with these guys in the last few years. The rack half full at best. At best. The 200 sections, you'd get, decent amount in there, but the 300 sections pretty much empty. So I'm going to say about half full. And so when you go from that experience where you just had a lot of hope that this team would build and continue to create more and more excitement, well, your hopes came true, Rutgers fans. This team, the last 3-4 years, since Ron and Gio kind of hit that sophomore, junior year, maybe Gio's junior year, Caleb's sophomore year, Ron's sophomore year, these guys really started putting something together. They had, I believe his name was Yazi Yaboa, came in. He did some great things. They had another Amarui who went to Oregon in the transfer portal. He did some good things 3 years ago, and you could see it was starting to build. Well, the last 2 years, possibly 3 if we count COVID, even the year with Miles Johnson in there and doing his thing, these guys have really, really put a string of years together that schools pray for across the country. And I believe it's here to stay with Pike at the helm and the culture that these guys have set in, the defense being their mantra, their MO, and the recruits they've got coming in. So I get a little sick and tired of watching these Twitter, Instagram kind of troll haters that just kind of pop up and bash the players that have done this for you guys. They actually bash Paul beyond belief the last few weeks. And this guy's been great. He's been a big part of why those seats are filled and the attention the team has gotten and the excitedness when you go to the games. Paul's had a lot to do with that. So who are these fans? They're not fans that are jumping out of the woodwork to bash him for some less than expected play, let's say. So you got to really feel for the guys, especially Paul, what he's been going through. Thank God he probably doesn't read any of this. It's all nonsense. Caleb, too. All of a sudden, Caleb, Defensive Player of the Year. And he gets bashed because he's missing threes or only making 1 of 2 foul shots. But they're dismissing. He leads the Big Ten in steals. He may get Defensive Player of the Year again. ESPN just named him National Defensive Player of the Year for the whole country. But yet there'll be these troll hater, I don't know what's going on in their lives, probably nothing good, that they seem to want to bash a player like that when he misses a foul shot or he misses a three or has some poor shooting nights. It's just terrible. And I think you people should just stay home, turn off your TVs, go cheer for Seton Hall, go cheer for Rowan or Stevens Tech or St. Peter's, because you don't deserve to cheer for Rutgers. You don't deserve to call Rutgers your team, especially if you're going to bash them at first challenges. There was another Twitter account I saw that he says we want to keep the players in Jersey, try to, fence the garden, I think it's called. He was bashing the players. I remember he said Caleb shouldn't even play offense. He something about Caleb where offensive possessions die or something like that. He's a fan. He wants to keep people in New Jersey. He wants recruits to see that and know that, oh, well, there's the fans and look at how quick they turn on you. This is Defensive Player of the Year, people. It's unbelievable. Same thing with Andre, with Cam. God, the guy won Purdue by himself. Hit the last shot against Northwestern. They're bashing him all of a sudden. He's too slow. He can't shoot. He's inconsistent. Again, stay home. Turn off your TV or tune it to St. Peter's and Seton Hall and Rowan and New Jersey college, whatever. But you're not a Rutgers fan. You don't deserve to be. And you can't appreciate what these guys have done, what this school has done, what the university now has, what Steve Pikiell has done. There's people calling for Pike to be fired. Are you kidding me? Who are these knuckleheads? This is insane. I saw another YouTuber that claims to be a fan, and he's saying, I'm done. That's it. I've had enough. These guys can't beat anybody. Blah, blah, blah. I've had it. He was actually angry with this team that has brought so much joy to tens of thousands of people. Did anybody happen to see the line last night starting at 4 o'clock? All the way around. You don't get that by being as bad and as inept as some of these troll, hater, fake fans have been claiming that these guys are. So it makes no sense what they say, what they post. So hopefully the players and the real true fans just ignore these idiots. Can't say it any other way. But man, I am just so thankful for what this team, these guys have brought to New Jersey, to Rutgers. They're now a national name. I mean, Caleb McConnell's name being announced the other night on ESPN as the National Defensive Player of the Year from Rutgers. Wow. I'm sure there were people in some states going, well, where's that? Well, what? Rutgers? Oh, let me see. Oh, they beat Purdue at Purdue. They beat Northwestern at Northwestern. They beat Wisconsin at Wisconsin. They beat Penn State at Penn State. This is a good team who is just going through some rough patches. I don't even need to get into the game specifically last night. It is just part of the rough patch. Whatever's going on, these guys are under tremendous pressure to play at a very high level every game, night in and night out. It is not easy, people. It is not easy. I had the privilege of playing Division I ball, and I know how difficult it is to get up for every single game. And when you get into a tailspin by losing a game or two or three, it's more difficult than anything to get out of. It's so easy to sit there on your couch, in your chair, in the stands, and just say, oh, just turn it on. Get out of that funk. Just play harder. Trust me, these guys are playing as hard as they can. It has nothing to do with effort. The effort is there. It doesn't take much to take a great effort and turn it into a loss. It could be mental. It could be the referees. It could be the other team just playing at a bit higher level. But when you get in that tailspin and you lose that 3 in a row, 4 out of 5, 6 out of 7, whatever it may be, give these kids a break and appreciate that they are in these conversations and they are contending with every single team in the Big Ten, which, by the way, is arguably the best conference in the country, if not the second or third in the country. And your team, Rutgers, is in contention for the title of the Big Ten right up until a couple, 3 weeks ago. Nobody would have mentioned that ever until this season. This is the first season, this late in the season, they were in contention to win the Big Ten. They are the best team in the Steve Pikiell era, no doubt. Are they finishing like the best team in the Steve Pikiell era? No, I don't think so. But they have another game Thursday against Michigan, and I bet that they will have another game in the NCAA March Madness. Hold on to your faith. The true fans, That goes without saying. But anybody kind of on the fence, hang in there. There's such greatness to come with this program. Gavin Griffith was in the stands last night. The big recruit who's coming next year. Wow. The love that kid got. He stood up. He's a Rutgers guy. He's looking so forward to next year. And they picked up 2 or 3 more that are going to make this team awesome for years to come. So don't worry about those fake fans, those, let's keep them all in New Jersey BSers. It's the true fans, the guys that have seen it before, seen it during, and now see it after, that know there's great things to come. And my God, this is a blessing that you get to watch a team, your team, compete every single night and have relevance every single game that 4 or 5 years ago did not exist and wasn't even in the end of the tunnel. Now we are there, and so is your team. Thursday against Michigan could be the last game, or maybe it's the first of a few more. Either way, if you're a fan, you're going to love it because they got a shot, and that's all we could ask for. OG without the B saying good night.